Hello, welcome to my object-oriented programming tutorial series. So continue from where we left off, back in the code. We have just implemented this controller class, okay? And that controller has a constructor function and it has a load model function. So our intention now is to let login class extends controller with the concept of inheritance. That means instance of the login class can be used to call methods implemented in the parent class. So this controller now becomes a parent class to the login class. Okay, so that's the concept of inheritance. But we can call these two methods in two ways, right? What we can do, we can implement a constructor function in this controller class, right, like that, and then let that function call the parent class. The parent class, you can access that method from the parent class like that using the parent keyword followed by a double colon and the function name. The function name is construct. So paste it right there, end of your statement. Now, what constructor does in a function is, whenever the instance of that class is created, any code in the constructor will run or will be executed automatically. So, with the same concept, when you create instance of this class, login, the parent constructor function will run. Because that is the method implemented in the parent constructor function, and that's what you are calling in the class constructor function. You see what we are doing? So that will make this object available to be used in this class to call methods in any other functions. So likewise, you have to call that method as well. Okay, so now, because we are creating this object with the intention to use it in another class, you have to use this keyword there. Otherwise, this code will throw error if you don't. Okay, so use this keyword before the $sign and the variable name. Okay, so see what we are doing now. Now, this method, we have to implement another function. You can call that same name as the model method you want to invoke. See, we are trying to maintain the same naming convention to be consistent so it will be easy to reference in the code. This process form is from this controller class, but we are now using that to call this method here. So you can call that code out from there and paste it right there. See, the same code we have written in the beginning is what we are wrapping up into functions and creating object of the class to call those methods. Nothing has changed. You also want to implement another method from this controller that will load your default pages. So you can call that. Likewise, like you know, you can start a function name with underscore. Get default page. And now that function, what you want it to do, you have to make sure you are consistent with that name there. So what you want this function to do is to load your default page. And that is simply cutting all this code out from there, pasting it right there for that load default page method. See? And the footer can now go into that process form method. See what we are doing? We just cut all that out and wrap it up in a login class. So now this, in fact, at this stage, if we want, we can create call that message out from there and create a title for this page here. So we can create a title, $title equal single end of statement. You can just call it capital login. Now you can use the same object to give that title, this view title. You can access that. So when you want to access this method, this title, you can now remove view from the middle and access it like just title. For example, like that. I put that in a comment and show you how you can access it from your header section, header.php, which is where you put your title. So now you have to remove that view from there and use that variable like that. So go this title, I put title on your page. Okay. So you see now we've got our so this is what model view controller is about. So create a controller that will load a specific view and then call the methods or models implemented in that for that view. And because we are using a folder name for our views to represent our views, and inside that we've got index page, now our controller is the same name. See, so we can access that easily. So controller name, same name as the folder name that houses the file for that view. And we are now able to use this model object to call method implemented in a different class. We are using this view object to call method implemented in a view class. You see. See, that's what object-oriented programming is about. Okay. So at this stage now, you can see how this login class has been able to inherit from the main controller class to allow those objects returned by the main controller class to be used in these functions within this login class, simply because it extends controller. Controller is a producer of those objects, and we are using in the class that extends it. So at this stage, what we have to do next then is, because we have implemented the login controller class and this controller class is ready, we now need to move this login model class in a different folder. Okay, so now likewise go and create a new file and then save it as login model, because that's what we specified. The way to find this file now is to give it that name, login model. Okay, so now you go ahead, save this file. In your root folder, you haven't got, you need to create a folder name, models. Okay, and then that's what you save this file as. Remember, the name must be login controller name model.php. That's how you reference it. Put it right there. So back in your code now, before you can create instance of that class, you have to require it. So you've done it in the controller, and the next thing now is to also move this controller in a different folder called controllers. I will do that in the next video. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.